guys, welcome to the Study Abroad Diaries. I'm Kirsten Arnstorff,
And I'm Millie West.
and we're here to tell you more about studying abroad in general and sharing about our experiences studying abroad at Ole Miss.
Yeah, we have both perspectives. So I'm an exchange student coming to Ole Miss, and Kirsten went from Ole Miss to study abroad. So both scenarios at play here, and hopefully we will explore them more.
Yeah, we both have different experiences. I went to Europe, and she's coming from Europe, so I guess we can both kind of compare our own experiences coming to a different country and studying. I went to Austria and Hungary with the School of Journalism and New Media, but Millie here is from the UK, but came to Ole Miss. So
Oui.
yeah,
Sorry, don't know why I did French. But yeah, I'm from UEA in England, and I'm here for a year, which is crazy that I leave in 2 months. That actually blows me. It actually makes me really sad. But yes,
same.
we've been here. I've been here since August, so a while now. And you went on a short stint of abroad.
I went on a faculty-led program that was from May to June. It was 1 month, like 4 weeks. And I went with 4 professors from the School of Journalism and New Media and around maybe 37 students. So it was a big group, much different than doing an exchange program or a 1 semester or full year with studying abroad. I was staying in hostels and hotels, whereas Millie lives in an apartment at Ole Miss. So there's a lot of differences. We can talk to you all about it, and if you're interested in either, you can go to the Study Abroad website, studyabroad.olemiss.edu. You can find all your answers to any type of program that you may be interested in. We're here to talk today about our own programs, and yeah. What would you say whenever you first came to Ole Miss? What was the very first thing you did when you got here? Like maybe it's the first week or first day that you arrived. Like what did you do?
Oh my gosh, that was such a long time ago.
Because I remember what I did.
I went to Chili's. That was incredible.
Oh my god!
And I was like,
I love that for
must
you.
go back again. The girl there was
I love
lovely.
Chili's.
I ate a lot actually, I think, and then we went to the square. Loved the square. The square was like my favorite thing. As soon as I got here, I was like, it feels like a Hallmark movie. I say this all the time.
I agree.
It feels like
They should make a Hallmark movie about Ole Miss.
They should. I don't really remember. I had to come for orientation, so we had like a tour of campus, and it was really pretty. I did a little tour with my parents, and there was music coming out of the Vort Hemingway, so the football stadium. That was cool. That was like, atmosphere was already there, and I was like, I've got this phrase that my mum says it to me all the time, and my dad said it to me at this point, and it's from a film called We Bought a Zoo, which is incredible if you haven't seen it. It's got Matt Damon in, and it's amazing. And it's 20 seconds of insane courage, and it's like, just go and do what you need to do. So my dad said it to me when I first got here, and every time I think about speaking to someone new or doing something I don't want to do, it's like, just, build yourself up for 20 seconds and go and do it. So that was my first experience.
Especially in a new place. It's like, it's a new page, a new chapter of your life. So you can not reinvent yourself, but grow with yourself and get out of that comfort zone and just do what you want.
Yeah, you don't need to change. You don't need to be a completely different person if you're comfortable with who you are. But like you say, this is no one knows you. Especially, I'm on an exchange program, so I came and I knew no one. I'm here, and everyone I've met is just off first impressions of who I am. And I think I've been here and I'm more myself, I think, than I've ever been. I yap for days and I just have the worst memory. And
because at the same time you're in a place where no one knows you, but on the other hand, you can be your 100% yourself.
Yeah.
You can present yourself the way that you've always wanted to be, I guess, perceived, because you're in a place where it's not your hometown, and you feel like you won't walk into a restaurant or walk into a class and everybody that you know is in there.
Yeah.
Even though you're yourself no matter what, but
yeah,
it's just a brand new feeling.
Yeah,
of getting to know yourself even more.
Definitely, and I think this. I mean, I'm sure you feel the same from your experience, but this makes you, as a person, I'm so much more confident within myself because I now know I can do things like this. I can go to an airport on my own. I can
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
live on my own. I can make my own food. I can, everything is so independent when you're abroad.
Yeah.
And as much as like you did it faculty directed and you had people from Ole Miss,
yeah,
it's still
I had
such
time to go off like almost every day. I
Yeah.
went off by myself or with my roommate.
It's still
And-
such an independent experience. Like it's still something that's
Yeah.
like, wow.
They make sure on a faculty-led program, if it's a specific program where you're volunteering for something, most of the time, maybe you won't have as much free time to yourself. But if it's a whole month, especially, you will have weekends where maybe you don't do anything, or after class, you can go off and do whatever you want to see, unless there's like a specific thing on the itinerary. But usually, like what happened with mine is that we had an itinerary, we had different museums to see, and our professor would say, okay guys, find your way here, we'll meet you here. You don't have to meet up with us, you can just make sure you go and visit this place and take pictures so we know you went.
Okay.
So it was like, find your own way there, you can do whatever you want there, but just make sure you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your first thing you remember doing when you got to
The first
Hungary?
the first thing I did, well, when we first arrived, we were shown how to use the metro, but the first thing that I did, I think it was maybe before class, I went to a cat cafe.
Oh my gosh. That's so you, but also like not something I would expect you to say at all.
Yeah, like I was like, because I was just searching like fun things to do in Budapest, in like the main area of Budapest.
Yeah.
And I immediately saw a cat cafe, and I was like, yep, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm gonna go.
Something about a cat cafe creeps me out.
No, it was so cute. Maybe I can add some photos of when I went. But me and my roommate, I was like, Jessica, we're going to this cat cafe before class. I know that we've never been to this place before, and it's so beautiful, and there's majestic buildings everywhere, but I want to go to the cat cafe first.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, let's go. And then we walked in, and what was really cool about it, though, is that this cafe was in a local area. So to walk there, you would see everything like the Ferris wheel in Budapest, and the a lot of like famous buildings and cathedrals and stuff. And then you would just turn and go down this alleyway full of shops and restaurants, and there was just a tiny little like sign that had the cat cafe on there, and you would go inside, and honestly, it was a very local place because there wasn't tourists in there. Yeah. You go up to the front and you order your drink, and there's just people everywhere that are locals that are doing their work, and they just want to have a pet with them whenever they're working.
Oh, okay.
So like
That's
they were on their
cute.
laptops working, and then the cats would walk up to them while they were drinking coffee or something. They would pet them in their lap while they're working. Like it's very like it was, to me. Weirdly, it felt like I was the most local I've ever felt.
Yeah. Which is cool, like,
yeah.
considering it's, like, your first day. But it was,
Yes,
like...
And they spoke perfect English, so I had no problem ordering for the first time. And the cats were so sweet. Like, I had a bag, because I think before I went to a thrifting store, and I bought something, and then we went to the cat cafe.
Okay.
And the cat, like, was just trying to get into my bag, and the cat just sat inside of my thrifting bag.
Aww.
And it was so cute. And then I took pictures and stuff, and...
Yeah.
But before that, I think my very first class I had was my global business or global communications class with Professor Sparks, and she's an IMC professor. And we had to make something creative to showcase who we are to the entire class. If it was like maybe a vlog traveling to Budapest for the first time, like being in the airport, or just make something while you're traveling to your destination. They were like, introduce yourself while you're on the way to Budapest.
Okay.
So I made an entire travel vlog and introduced myself, and starting in Atlanta because I was in Atlanta the night before getting on the plane, and I recorded everything that I did, starting from the airport, my hotel, airport, and then going on different flights and what I ate, and then going to Budapest, my outfit changes. Like I think it was super fun because I got to showcase myself to my class the first day that I was in Europe, and everyone just kind of got to know each other in that class. And then I immediately went to a cat cafe.
Yeah. That's definitely an icebreaker though, that like everyone's in it, because things like that can be so uncomfortable, like recording yourself in public, and
Yeah.
like I know we do the social media for the Study Abroad office, so we're often doing like filming.
Yeah,
day in
I
our
feel
life or, like,
uncomfortable.
public
Trust me,
video.
like sometimes when we do go out and do like public interviews, we ourselves feel embarrassed sometimes.
That rejection is harsh
it's,
as well.
It's
like,
really bad. Like we feel bad.
Yeah. Someone walked in on me the other day, collapsing on the floor, like.
Oh yeah, that was one of my friends too.
Yeah, he was so fun. I'm actually so glad it was him. He was so fun. But yeah, so it can be really awkward. But I think everyone being in the same boat and like having to put yourself out there and slightly embarrass yourself and like expose.
And I took a photography course too, so I was able. The way that we were, I guess, taught to edit photography in that class and take pictures. He wanted us to take pictures of things that you may not typically take beyond the spectrum of posting it on social media, like pictures of myself in front of the cathedral or something. He wanted us to think about an emotional response to something that we saw and take that picture, take that snapshot, and then edit it to where this is how we felt whenever we took it.
That's so cool.
And that's why I loved taking a creative course when you're studying abroad. It not only it opens your eyes to the real beauty around you, but also like artistically you feel like you're growing as you're taking more photos in that class.
Yeah. I guess you've also got more inspiration to use. Like you're in a completely new place and surrounded by new people, so your creativity is like on a high.
Yeah. And we'd have to turn it in within like 3 days, so everyone would kind of be in like a frenzy taking pictures.
Yeah.
But
I think that's one thing as well that people should like rest assured, whether it's parents or yourself, that you are studying. You are busy and you are learning and
during the time that you're traveling, you pretty much are doing coursework while you're seeing things.
Yeah, it's not a holiday. Like as much as it's incredible, you're in a new place, exploring. Like you're busy, you're doing things while you're there. It isn't. Because I know when we did the interview the other day, a girl said she doesn't know how her parents would feel if she was like volunteering in Paris for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that alone, I think volunteering is pretty cool, but you know, you're growing as a person and you're also learning, and it benefits you academically and
and also like mentally, like especially being a part of community projects while you're studying abroad. Maybe you sign up for it after even going to like a university and you take part in things like that. It's fulfilling. It's a great resume builder.
For sure.
And you're working hard, and you know you're making a difference for that country and culturally being more involved with maybe something that's economically going on there, especially if it's like a green project like in Paris that we were looking at the other day.
Yeah. And what do you think about, so obviously I'm here and I'm speaking the same language because I'm in America, but what do you think about learning the language before you go abroad? Do you feel like you need to?
I took a Hungarian course, like a quick, like easy Hungarian course with AFS, so they give you an itinerary for faculty-led programs if you're with a specific organization, like travel organization, and they bring in teachers that are from like a community college or something, and maybe they're just professors from different colleges in Hungary or something.
Yeah.
And they'd come in, and one of them was a Hungarian teacher, and he taught us the basics of things. You definitely don't have to learn. I don't believe that you have to learn everything it is to know about a language before going, but knowing the basics, like where is the bathroom, or can I please buy this, or how much is this?
Yes.
Basic phrases, definitely. No matter where you go in the world, I think at least being, at least recognizing that you're in another country and you can say something to where I feel like being able to respect that they are somebody that speaks another language. So at least trying and getting yourself out there to try speaking another language. If they just kind of laugh it off and like start speaking English to you, then that's fine. But at least you're trying.
Yeah.
At least you're respecting the fact that you're trying.
Yeah, and I think get rid of the ignorance, because I think you, especially as Americans, like in Europe, like UK is the laughing stock of Europe if it's not America. But most of the time it's America. And I think if you were to go as an American student to another country and you were just like, hello, can I, like, as much as it's appreciated that you guys aren't going to, or I also don't know the language, so like be fluent in the language, you trying to speak their language, it gets rid of their like preconception of Americans being ignorant and like lazy. So it's quite nice.
Yeah.
And also I think you're immersed in it, so you're gonna learn more there anyway. You're gonna hear people like.
Yeah, the more you
Speaking
immerse
to you.
yourself, the more you start naturally picking up things and start saying them. Like, I already forgot what I would say, but when I was in Hungary, like, whenever I would say yes, there's like a reaction word to yes, and I think it's like, I already forgot. It was like last summer when I went.
I mean, I don't know because I haven't done it, but going to a country that isn't English speaking, like their native language isn't English, is definitely something you should consider, because especially I guess coming from America, your choices of English speaking countries are Australia or the UK, so like or Ireland, so you haven't got too many choices. I guess can you study abroad in Canada?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, but definitely like that's not something to be afraid of. But like some programs will have classes that are strictly in that language. So I think a lot of like Latin America will just do some of the classes will be in Spanish or Portuguese or whatever language they're speaking in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a decent level, then do those classes. But
yeah,
definitely don't be afraid.
Yeah, there's always, whenever you go and research a program, just make sure that it's being taught in English. I know in Japan and Korea, there could be, you might take a Korean class or Japanese class, but the rest of your classes would be in English.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, putting that on your resume that you can speak another language is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm currently applying for internships, and every one I've done is like, can you speak a second language? And I'm like, I'm beginner level Spanish. So
Yeah,
no.
same.
But
Same.
like, I think learning a language, at least for me, like, you have to immerse yourself, but like try hard. And I think it's so fun. I think there's something so fun about it's so unknown, it's so difficult, it's so different to what you know, but like going out of your way to spend a few even minutes a day to learn another language is fun.
You know what I mean?
Oh, Duolingo, I'm not an advocate for that. I honestly, I do it every day. I've got a 500-day streak, and it's only because it's a dark shadow over my head, and I hate it. But it's like, I think like listen to podcasts and that.
A great place to learn minimal amount of whatever language it is before you go somewhere. Though.
Yeah, and also like keeping
up
that maybe
with
refreshed.
Yeah.
Keep words, like for example that word that you now can't remember.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure on Duolingo.
I'm sure my roommate would remember though, because she did Duolingo in Hungarian every day while we were there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not kidding, and she was able to speak more than me.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
What is your favorite places in Oxford to go to?
I probably haven't done enough, I reckon. I don't think I've gone to too many places. I like Heartbreak Coffee. That's nice. I like the library, but that's just like, it's just fun. It's like very American. The like live music every weekend is really fun. Food wise, South Depot, I'll go. I've only actually had it twice actually, I think, but it's really good. I like Chili's just because I feel like it feels very American.
Yeah.
It's like, don't play the games.
Yeah, you'll have to pay.
Don't play the games.
The
I got
tablet
scammed.
games.
I got scammed and I'm fuming about it. Don't play the games. Oxford is quite a quiet place, I would say. Like, campus is nice. Like, it's nice to be on campus, but it is quite a quiet place. So being able to travel is pretty good. My number one thing I would say is getting a car is quite expensive in the US. Insurance is crazy.
Yep.
Getting a car is like at home my car is worth £1,000. Like it's cheap as chips. So that phrase. So you're not going to get a car like that here that works. So, but renting a car often is cheap. Like flights here aren't cheap. Like I'm looking at going to Chicago next weekend, and it's like $600 to get to Chicago, and I can fly home for that much. So like,
really?
Yeah. So but getting a car is like $200 for the weekend. So my recommendation is top recommendation to get a US driving license, because you can drive or bring a credit card as well. But you can drive in the US with if you have a license in another country. But to rent a car, the enterprise here is they require you to have a license that's your address is within 50 miles of the place it is, so down the road from here. So getting a license is pretty helpful because then you can actually hire a car and get out for the weekend, even if it's Atlanta or Nashville's 4 hours away. Memphis isn't that just getting
just
out.
having an ID in general to where maybe if you want to go out somewhere and you need your ID and show it to a police officer or a waiter or something, they can definitely read it more easily. And it's small, so you don't have to bring your passport with you.
If you have your passport, for sure get a US ID because you don't losing that's not worth it. I just lost actually all of my belongings, but if I'd lost my passport, my passport was the last thing I had.
She's the one candidate. If you're scared to lose all your belongings in America or while you're studying abroad, she's done it, and she can tell you about it.
I fully lost my whole life at one point was in various locations. So
you were able to order it all and get it back though, right?
So
you
I
had to freeze your credit cards.
Went and got. So I'd already opened a US bank account. I would also recommend doing that because paying rent in the US if you're using an international card charges you quite a lot on a convenience fee. So, and that's free, and you don't need at least with Regions, you don't need a social security number. I have one, but and then I lost the card, so me being able to go back to Regions and get a new card rather than having to order one from England and get it sent here by my parents, that's going to take a few days, whereas now I have it at my fingertips. So things like that, a convenience of having a US license that you can go and quickly get replaced. It literally takes, I was in there for 5 minutes yesterday getting mine. So everything is quick. So set yourself up early, I reckon. I sounded almost Australian then. Just look for jobs here. If you're on a J1 license visa, which I am, you can get 20 hours a week, and this job has actually been perfect and incredible. Put yourself out there. I went to a meeting and they were I was under the impression I was volunteering, and then went to this meeting and just spoke, and
you had great ideas, and everyone was like, "Yeah, you're hired."
Yeah, and then the boss was like, "Do you fancy it?" Yes. Give me all your money. I'm joking. But it's been incredibly helpful, financially to work.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, obviously, if you have to check your visa. Did you need a visa to go to Hungary, or was that
no?
Because
if you're there for 1 month, no. Mm-hmm. You just need to have your passport, and then when you go through customs, they ask you, what are you doing here? And you're just I'm here visiting with my university. We are tourists that are just visiting Hungary or Germany. And they're okay,
Yeah.
I would say, for me, the best places in Hungary to go to, the New York Cafe, my favorite. It's literally the most gorgeous cafe that you have probably ever seen. I'll add some pictures that I took.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
And golden arches, and there's just it looks like you're inside of maybe the dining room of a castle, and many, you know what I mean? And they had live music, and they had someone playing piano and a little saxophone, and it was just gorgeous. And all the pastries are made to present royalty to you. It's it might be a little expensive, but if you just go there and get a coffee and a pastry, it's you'll spend $25, but it's worth it for the experience of taking pictures, wearing a cute outfit to go inside. If you do go to Budapest and decide to go to the New York Cafe, they do reservations. However, I don't know how, because even when I try to make reservations, it's all in Hungarian. And so, the website was just kind of weird. I didn't know how to, make that reservation unless maybe you went there in person.
Yeah.
They had a reservation line, and what they do is that if you have a reservation, they'll put you in a seat that's prettier than the others.
Okay.
So I had to sit at,
That's brutal.
Me and my roommate didn't have a reservation. We were just waiting in line, because there's always, a queue for this place. Yeah. So we were sat at the bottom of it. Even though I got a really great view of the entire place from the bottom floor. I still got some cute pictures. The other thing I would recommend is going to the Buda Castle. There is really rich history about Budapest at the Buda Castle. It was struck by lightning, I'm pretty sure.
Fun.
And there's just some really, really cool history about that place. It was hard for me to like read everything because I was there with a group of my friends and they were all just walking around everywhere, so I couldn't spend like a ton of time sitting and reading the history of it all. But gorgeous place. I felt like a princess because me and my friends decided that we were all gonna wear little dresses and like go out instead of like being a tourist. We're just like, let's be like little princesses for the day and like go to Buda Castle like wearing cute outfits to take pictures. And the night before, I bought this really gorgeous green dress, and I was like, I want to feel like a princess today. Like I am Austrian. Like my background is Austrian, not Hungarian, but close enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to be a little Austrian princess today. So I wore it, and there was a little cute cafe there that was like outside in like this garden, and that was some of the best coffee I've ever had in Budapest at that Buda Castle. It was great, and yeah, I just loved it. I felt like that entire day just being able. This was a weekend too, where I was a free weekend to do whatever I wanted in Budapest.
Yeah.
With my friends, and it was just amazing. I loved it. And then also the bridge in Budapest. There's actually two different parts of Budapest. So there's Buda and Pest.
Okay.
And the Buda Castle is in Buda.
Yeah.
And then Pest is the part that we were staying in that had where our college was and everything. And so yeah, so you had to cross the bridge to get over there, and it's just gorgeous. And you can easily walk around in Budapest too.
Yeah, I think that's also like prime example of look beyond like the traditional places to study abroad, because in my opinion, like I haven't really had anyone say that they are interested in Hungary or like Austria.
Yeah, I definitely say that it's underrated.
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Has a lot of really amazing, but it has dark history, but it has beautiful history.
Yeah,
and everything there has just technology-wise, it's just become more advanced in the way that they rebuild everything after, a lot that has happened there. They rebuild everything to look the same way as it did like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah,
their architecture is just insane. They keep everything the same, but in a way where it's modern enough to make it stable, where it wouldn't ever like fall down again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since it's like probably over 100 years old, they just rebuilt it the same way it was, but with better structure. And
yeah.
I just loved it there. They even had I went to a hotel there that had a rooftop restaurant at the very top of this big, it was almost like a skyscraper hotel, and we went to the top. It was outdoors, all the windows were open and everything, and you could just see the entire skyline and city of Budapest it was right by the bridge too. So finding those niche places when you're studying abroad is really beneficial. I found this place because I just kept researching the best places to go to with the best views that may not be very well known, and I went to a lot of local places that had some of the best food, best service, and since you're in Hungary, but everyone usually speaks English, there wasn't ever a thing where I felt like I couldn't do something because I couldn't speak the language.
Yeah, I think it's also look beyond your traditional places. As much as it's, yes, Rome is incredible, and I don't know, I'm trying not to do this because I think that going to Italy and places like that is incredible, and you definitely should, but you should expand your search. So Australia is available, and you don't necessarily have to go to Sydney, which is the main, it's obviously not the capital city, but it's a big hub and everyone is aware of Sydney. But you could go to Perth, you could go to Tasmania, you could go to Latin America, have some incredible culture, and there's a trip to Cuba in the summer that actually looks you get 6 credits. You're there for you're not even there for that long, but you get 6 credits out of it, and it's you're traveling for a week and you're doing classes and you're exposed to the Bay of Pigs, which is as someone who studied the Cold War, I would love nothing more than to go. So I just think expanding your searches beyond places that you're aware of, because there's so like little niche countries like
Right.
Southeast Asia or just Asia in general. There's so many like beautiful places that you just wouldn't think about.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to like studying abroad, what would you say, like with hindsight of you being abroad, what would you say is your top tips of like when you first think of, if you go, I would like to study abroad, what would you say is your top tips for like, okay, now think about like location? What would you say is your...
Yeah, I would say think about first, for me, was what is my favorite countries? What is the main places that I've always wanted to go to? And also, when you think about for me, I always think about ahead in my future, in my career. So if you want to potentially move to a different country or even visit another country while you're working in the future, what country would that be? In the courses that you want to take, definitely look into that too. If you want to do, I don't know, marketing or journalism in a certain country, look up your favorite places and see if that is available.
I think for me, like at least for when I was looking to study abroad, I considered this like going to America. Like I always see like high school in like Disney Channel things. So I think it was always something I'd wanted to do and experience. So I think if it's something that you think, will I ever actually do this unless I do this now? Because I would never, like Mississippi is not somewhere that I ever had on my list of places to go. But I was also considering places like Sydney, and then when I was researching I found Vancouver and I was like, yes, I want to live here. So it was like deciding between I will probably go and visit Vancouver in the future. Mm-hmm. But even if I visited Mississippi, I would not get the experience I'm getting now. Whereas if I'm in like Sydney, I could do Sydney as like a month thing where I'm like experiencing it.
Right.
But I wasn't necessarily going to Sydney for like the school, whereas I am going here for the school. So I think it's like considering if you would... If
you know that maybe one day you'd go on vacation to a certain place, maybe think about going to a different area, because if you're like, oh, my family wants to go to Paris maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, and you're just like, oh, maybe I should just go to Paris and study abroad. Maybe you should think about a different country instead, because I feel like at the same time, even though potentially you're going to go to Paris with your family or, something like that, having the option to go anywhere in the world that you've possibly maybe have always wanted to go to, but maybe is in the back of your mind, researching about that really would be beneficial.
I also think, like, work out your comfort level, because going abroad alone is a huge thing, and, like, it can be intimidating. Right. So if you're thinking that, like, oh, I don't know if I can handle going to, like Austria and not really knowing anything.
The reason why I chose Austria and Budapest was because, one, it was a faculty-led program with a lot of professors that I already knew and students that some of them I already knew as well, but also because I didn't want to go a full semester by myself. I originally wanted to go to South Korea, but I couldn't, personally on my degree track, I couldn't spend a whole semester in another country, because then I would be like graduating later. But also at the same time, like, I felt like since it was the first time I was going out of the country, I wanted to get that experience with a group and be able to also be independent while doing that, but also have a safe place where I could contact someone immediately if something, I felt like unsafe or something. Yeah. But I never expected that I was going to go to Budapest or Salzburg and Vienna and those places, because my original thought was like, I want to go to Seoul. I want to study like fashion merchandising and which I would have loved if I did that. I still, like, back in the beginning of this episode, I still think that I would want to do that, but I know I will do that one day. Yeah. Like, I'm planning to go to Japan after I graduate and visit South Korea while I'm there and maybe do some job hunting. So if you're kind of like planning already ahead that you want to do it after you graduate, going somewhere like maybe it's your family heritage. Like, for me, when I went to Salzburg, I took a train and I went to Arnsdorf, which is my family's village, and I got to experience, like, this is my family, this is my heritage, and this is where I originated. And I never would have expected ever that I would check that off my bucket list.
That's so cool.
Like, I never would have expected that I would have actually set foot on the grounds of, like, where I originated, like, where my family originated. And my family was just so proud, and they felt so much, I guess, joy that I got to experience, I got to experience the perspective of, like, where my family, like, came from.
Yeah.
Because not any of my family members have been there except for my granddad. And, you know, only he can tell us so much about that. And I just never would have expected that I chose to do that by myself and went there, and it was beautiful. It's a beautiful experience to know that you've gone somewhere where you didn't really expect, but you took that risk. You stepped out of the comfort zone and just decided to go somewhere that you never would think would be on your bucket list of going to.
Yeah, for sure. I think also, like, deciding what you want out of it, like, deciding if you want, obviously, a year, semester, few weeks, what you want out of that experience that you've got, whether it's like you want to be near a beach and be able to, you know, sunbathe on your weekends, or if you want to be in a busy city, or you want to, because they're so different. Like, even within Europe, the culture from, say, Austria and Hungary alone, like, two neighbouring countries are so different within themselves, and then you go from there to, say, like, Belgium, and then you go to, like, everything is so different, and you experience so many cultures. So I think doing a bit of research on the culture that you would like and how you would like to spend your...
And the food, too, if you're very picky, or if you have some type of, like, allergies to a lot of different things, make sure that you can, like, eat properly when you're there. But I'm sure, like, when I went to Central Europe, they had tons of different types of foods. You can not just Hungarian food. They had Indian food, very popular there, and So just if it's a area that is very common to be a tourist of, just be also aware that getting the full experience of wanting to see the life of a local firsthand might be different than if you went to a actual place where tourists are not as, like, it's not as busy.
Yeah.
Like, if you went to Prague, that's a very busy touristy place to go to. It's beautiful, and to go there is, like, a dream of mine as well. But if you want to study abroad at a place where you want to feel like you have stepped your foot inside of a new country where you're living as, like, a local, choosing an area that's maybe not as popular could be for you if you wanted to experience that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that knowing what you're after, but also being comfortable within the place that you are. Whether, like, if you are feeling like you need to have some other tourists around, then, like you say, go somewhere a bit more. Yeah. But I think just expand your searches, look beyond what you're thinking, and be willing to go somewhere that you hadn't thought of before, but is now somewhere that you think is incredible. Like,
and if you have the time, you can visit different countries while...
Yeah, definitely.
Because one of my friends is studying in London right now, and she just went to Paris, but it's just there's a lot of things you can do if you want to stay in a country where a lot of other countries surround it, and you can then make that step and go to different towns that may not be as, like, congested with tourists, you know?
Yeah.
And when it comes to insurance, when you got insurance, did you get it from the UK to have here, or did you buy it when you got here? Like, health insurance
So I know it differs, but obviously you need health insurance to be in the US.
Yeah.
For me, my school didn't offer it, so I got health insurance from Ole Miss, and they, like, the school itself sort out. I just send them my money, give them all my money, and then I pay it off, and it's, like, through United, so it's a different health company. But I know I've got some friends from University of Edinburgh, and their health insurance is covered, and they don't pay any cost towards health insurance. But I think, like, a lot of programs that you would go from the US have it covered.
like for me, I had a health insurance from the university as well.
Yeah.
And then they also like gave us access to Alert Traveler, which is pretty much an app for Americans where if something is happening within that country around you, something very unexpected, or just to like make sure that you need to know about, whether it's politically or let's say it's like a typhoon or something like that, then that app will immediately alert you and say, hey, this is happening around you, here's the precautions, this is what you should do to make yourself feel more safe.
Travel insurance is also pretty good if you just that would often be off your own back. Like, I don't think you don't need it, but like losing your luggage at the airport is inconvenient. Your plane being cancelled and not being able to get a refund is inconvenient. So like just having that backup. I think I paid £300 or dollars for a year of travel insurance. So it really isn't like a big. I paid $200 for a library card for a year. So like if I can pay to that kind of thing. So what I was thinking was invite locals. Like if you've made friends and you're there for like I think it's 12. I think for a shorter stay it's more difficult to travel, but I mean you managed to go elsewhere, but if you make friends with locals and speak to them, because like I live in the UK, but I've never been to Scotland. Like I haven't been too many places, but just because I know I can go whenever, so I think I don't go that often. It's the same as like the US. I've been so many places in the US and my housemates haven't, but that's just because like they live there, they'll go there eventually, whereas I'm like I've got a short stint. So like if I was at home at university and someone said, hey, do you fancy going to anywhere, I would be there with you. Like even if it was a city in the UK or if it was in Europe or wherever, like I'd be down. So I think like having a local around with you.
I think I agree, because like even for me, I work with a lot of international students, and my roommate is from Japan, and I meet a lot of people from all over the world at Ole Miss itself, and I've made like lasting friendships with them. So now if I go to that country, whether it's me wanting to go to Japan, actually I'm staying with one of my friends there, and or whatever country it may be, if you meet international students on wherever you are, even if you're studying abroad in another country and there's other international students there or locals, get to know them and talk to them. And if you decide that you want to visit a place one day, you might have a place to stay, you might have a tour guide, someone that can help you figure out the best places to eat or to stay. Like just in general, making more friends that are from another country, especially for me that I love traveling and want to continue doing it. You have somebody that is there if you ever, are in a position where you need help. Yeah. Like it's a great thing, especially if you're if you become best friends with them. It's like having family. Yeah. When you go to a different country.
And it's not it's not a short stint. Friendships don't have to end when you leave. I've got friends now that were here last semester, and I mean I should do better with this semester, but I've now got somewhere to stay in, like you say, in Australia. I can in Munich. There's places now all over the place that I'm now excited to go and see people I know.
I've been invited to weddings. like before I leave, they're like, come to Taiwan because I'll have my wedding and I'll invite you and you should just come to my wedding. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, I'll come. Don't worry. I'll figure out a way, but I'll come.
Exactly. Communication is so easy to keep up with these days. So it doesn't have to be a short, convenient thing. It is actually friends.
You don't have to meet someone and forget about them after you study abroad. You can talk to them, and you meet people for a reason in life. And I feel like when you meet those people, if something comes up in your life where you're going to be in a certain place, there's a reason why you met them in the first place. Yeah. So you could see them again at a time in need of your life where you definitely need somebody around you for something. No matter if it's just like having a friend around, or maybe it's a work thing where maybe you're working for a similar company and work together again. Making those connections with those people from all over the world is so beneficial. Okay, so we hope you enjoyed our little talk about our experiences studying abroad, and also just being a part of the Study Abroad office in general that knows a little bit more information than a normal student that has studied abroad. If you guys have specific questions and you maybe don't want to talk to an advisor just yet, you can always talk to us first, and we can give you first-hand advice.
Yeah.
And
comment down below, like we'll read them. We can get back to you.
yeah, comment anything that you would like us to talk about specifically, and we can definitely like share our stories or advice in general about it.
Yeah, for sure. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you have a awesome time studying abroad if you decide to do so.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.